This, my friends, is a dungeon tile. In this video, I'll show you how to create one yourself. Hello, I am the Swedish game dev. In this video we're going to check out how to create your own dungeon tile texture. And this dungeon tile texture can be used in a video game or be printed out to be used in a tabletop role-playing game, which is the use case for me. To create this dungeon tile, we're going to use a software called Affinity Designer. And if you don't know, Affinity Designer is a great option instead of Adobe's Illustrator. One perk of a designer is that it's a one-time fee and then you own the program. So it's really great for us indie game developers and indie illustrators. So what I've done here is that I have created a document at A4 size. If you're in America, I guess you would create it in legal size, but I'm going to use A4 because I'm in Sweden. And it's important to set up the program so we see these rulers because they're going to be really helpful when checking out the measurements. This will help us decide how things will look when we print it out. And if you don't see the rulers in Designer, you go to View and Show Rulers or Commando R, and it will show and hide the rulers. Okay, so now when we have our rulers, I have created a square here, and I created this using the rectangle tool here on the left, and I want this dungeon tile to be 125 times 125 millimeters, which will be about 5 times 5 inches, and I do that by clicking down here. I have the rectangle selected, and then I click here and I just type in 125 times 125 millimeters, and now we have two dungeon tiles. And when I print this out, I don't want it to be gray in the background if there's a gap between our grid, so I want to change the color of these rectangles to be black. So I just select it and then I go up here to fill, and then I drag down the color to black. And then I'll just do the same thing with this other one. But these two will be two very boring dungeon tiles, so we want them to have a kind of a stone floor texture. So we will create a new rectangle and just drag it out, and I'll go down here. This is called the studio, and I will change its width and height to 25 millimeters, which is about, it's an inch, and because that's the usual measurement in role-playing games. And I have prepared the next step. I have downloaded some textures, and you can go to a site like Pixabay that I usually use. There's are other sites called Pescal and other sites. You can just search for free images. Pixabay is good because almost all the images here are free to use, and then here you can just search for rock texture and you will find images that you can download, and I have downloaded some of these. For example, you can see hopefully in the comment section that I downloaded and commented on this one, because I think it's very important to write the creators of these images and thank them at least, because they provide so much good stuff for us game creators. And when you've found a texture you want, you just click download and select the size and download it. But I have already prepared it. So we're back in Designer. I have created a square that's going to be a floor tile. So I just open up my folder where I have my textures, and I drag it into the document. And now if I want this texture in this square, I go over to the layer menu over here and I select my rectangle so I know which one it is, and then I select this texture and drag it into. And you see it disappeared here, but it hasn't disappeared. If we click this arrow here, we will open it up and we will see the rock texture, and we can drag it into our square like that. And we're not done yet with this rectangle, because now it looks really, really flat. We're gonna add some special effects to it, and special effects are under FX here in the studio. So we'll click this button and I will choose the 3D effect. It doesn't look super great, but it makes it a little bit cooler. So I will just add this a little bit, and I'll also add an inner shadow. So there's some kind of shadow going on here in the tile. I'll zoom in so you can see it. This is how it looks with the effects, and this is how it looks without the effects. So it gets a little bit more depth. And now we have our first stone tile for our dungeon tile, so I will put it in here. And now I will copy this and paste it, Command C, Command V, and voila, I have another one. But I want to have a little bit of variation, so I have other textures. So I will drag another one into this image, and I will do the same thing here. I will pull it into the rectangle, and then I will open it up there so you can see it. And boom, now we have a variation of our tiles. Now I will just decorate this entire square by copying and pasting and putting them in. So I will just speed this up for you while I do this, and then I'll get back to you in the next stage. Like that. And just because I want a little bit more variation, I will drag in a third texture. And I will put this texture in some of the rectangles. Like this, just to get some variation. And then I will select this one and copy it and paste it. And then I will select some of the first ones to replace with this one to get some more variation like that. And if we want to be lazy, which we probably want to be, we can select all of these and copy them and paste them and put them on top of this other one. And then we can just rearrange these to get some more variation. Then we'll copy and paste those that we removed. Let's keep that one black. Actually, that can be a secret door or something for the players to wonder, what is this? And this is the base of this, because now we have pretty cool dungeon tiles. We can print these out and put them on cardstock, but I just want to decorate them a bit more, because you can download lots of different kinds of pictures on Pixabay. So I have downloaded a shield, a sort of medieval shield, so I'll just adjust it so it looks kind of in the right scale and put it somewhere on the floor. And I will use the FX and the outer shadow, because now it will have a little shadow and will look a little bit more like it's in the world. And say that this shield belonged to a warrior that has died here. So we have a skull, and we can drag that also into the picture and adjust the size so that it looks more correct to scale. And then there's a handle up here on it, so we pull it so it's not just straight on. And also the same thing here, we'll put on an outer shadow and do like this. And the other dungeon tile I want to decorate with some boxes that maybe our players can loot, also downloaded from Pixabay. And we'll just adjust them accordingly and put FX outer shadow, increase the radius, increase the offset, close, copy and paste it a few times, and maybe there's a third one on top of the two others, like that. And that's our dungeon tiles. So now let's print them out and see how they look with some miniatures on. Okay, so here they are printed out. They look pretty nice, and we have some simple school glue, and we have a cutting knife and some foam core. And I'll put this together and show it to you shortly. And here it is printed out in all its glory. I hope I've inspired you to try to create your own dungeon tile in Affinity Designer. And if you have any questions, just post them in the comment section of this video. So what are you waiting for? Go on, be creative and create your own gaming world, and I'll see you soon in another video. Bye.